already.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm getting a bit warm here.
I'm just roasting. So hello everybody.
Hello.
It's hot in the UK. We are toads boiling.
Scotchio.
And I might be wearing the top I was knitting last time we saw you.
Yeah.
I've got my Edie on. I'm not going to do a lot of flapping and moving around because I may have some ends that might flop out if I start swinging my arms all over the place. But, you know.
It's fine. It's cool.
It's waiting to be blocked. And usually what I do with a yarn like this, which is machine wash, is I'll put it through a gentle wash and then block it. Because there's no point soaking it when the machine can do all the hard work.
Yeah. I put it on a rinse cycle.
So I thought it might as well go in and have a proper wash and be subjected to sweaty me for a couple of hours.
Sweaty me. Is that like a movie, like Despicable Me?
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, I have visions of it sort of after an hour and a half going just like, no, I'm going. I'll be outside. With Jake socks that walk there on their own.
Oh. We could make a whole movie based on that.
You could. So hair looks nice today. I'm liking the curls.
Oh, I washed it. I come in from my run this morning, and my brother-in-law's mate was here to cut the hedge, come to trim my bush, and so I come in and I was busy faffing doing this, that, and the other, and obviously I couldn't get in the shower until he'd gone, and he went at lunchtime. So I just washed it, and then it floofed up, and I've just put a little bit of mousse on it.
I think it looks nice.
Thank you.
I had straight hair this morning, but I'm a bit sweaty and it's all curled as the day went on. So probably by midnight I will look like Michael Jackson. It'll have sort of afroed. It's the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity in the air, it's getting to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You though, you got a nice little natural curl going on, you know.
Well, you know, bit of a Marcel wave.
You wanna do like a little cute, like twirl it round your finger.
But I did think about putting tiny little ribbons in any of the sticky outy bits to make it look deliberate.
Do you know what you should get? Some of those absolutely titchy, tiny little butterfly clips and just put a few in here and there. It'd look gorgeous.
Yeah, probably look like I had knits.
Bloody big knits. I don't want nothing to do with those knits, I tell you.
They're probably the best type.
I'd be saying, shave it off. They're huge. No word of a lie. When I was teaching, you could see them crawling. They were that big, though.
Oh, they're awful. They're awful things. I might be doing a test knit.
Oh, pray tell.
It was one of those things where, you know, your Ravelry feed when it's not new Rav, it's classic Rav before anybody says anything.
Yeah.
I'm on classic Rav and I'll be sticking with it as long as I can. Up popped on my feed my friend Jutta Hinterm Stein, the designer who does the lovely summer tops.
Yeah,
I like the teal one and the Simply Perfect summer top, the pink one. And she's got a new design that started testing today.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of those where she posted it and said testing soon. And I thought, well, I'm going to knit it anyway. As soon as the pattern's released, I'll be knitting it. Who am I kidding? So I just commented on a project page and said, let me know if you need anyone to test in size large. And she always puts the shaping. So there'll be sort of a straight body, an hourglass body. And then there's, if it's an A-line, there's a slight A-line. And then there's like my A-line. And she doesn't mind if you do sort of in between. So if you do a large upper body and maybe an XL lower body, or in between L and XL, all of those options are included as to how you adapt it. So I just sent this quick message, and within seconds, yes please, I'll burn you tomorrow. So I might have cast on. It's not that I'm impulsive at all in any way. So that's the back.
Yeah.
and I'm just started the left front, which is, it's a provisional cast on. Can you see?
Yeah.
So pick that up and work down, and there's a garter border either side.
Very nice.
And it's lifted increases rather than M1s, so it gives a lovely neat finish. And it's drop spell, and that's what's left of my first ball, so I might actually get to the end of the left front before I have to use a new ball of yarn. So how's that for thrifty? Is it 180 at full price or something, drop spell?
I'm not sure.
Cotton, linen and something else.
Yeah.
Of course, I may have got mine in the sale at Wool Warehouse when it was on offer.
Yeah, I often think it would be rude not to be honest.
Well, I just see it as my civic duty to keep the economy going.
Boris is desperate for us all to get the economy going again, isn't he?
Oh, for sure, yeah, bless him.
Poor guy. He's a bit skint.
Yeah, so I'm doing a set of increases at the moment where there's more increases on sort of the underarm side and a little bit less with the V-neck, and then that will change slightly, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those where you look at the pattern and you think, what? And the back's kind of cast on with provisional crochet for the shoulder, and then you either have a provisional or a crochet cast on for the back neck, depending on how she does it, and then another thread with provisional crochet cast on. So there's 3 cast ons for that one section, and you're unraveling them and working on them at separate times, and you kind of look at the pattern initially and think, seriously? But having knitted her other ones, it makes perfect sense, and you just follow the directions. It's so easy. Yeah.
Well, that's quite a lot. I've got a couple of patterns like that where I've had people saying, really? And I go, yeah, honestly, just go with it. You'll be all right. Give it a chance.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If some people just can't visualize it, can they?
No.
So how's your dress coming along?
I haven't done much on it the past couple of days. I've been making the most of the weather, but we've got maybe about I'm thinking possibly about another 4 centimeters before I sort of like start the waist shaping. So yeah, quite happy with that.
Have you got quite a lot of decreasing to do?
Yeah, I'm going to decrease it right in, but I'm going to do it really quickly.
Right.
Not slowly. It's going to come in.
So it's like a gather almost.
Yeah. I'm just going to have a little play with what I like, what I don't like. We'll see.
That'd be really pretty.
All I know in my mind is that I'd quite like it to be a garter band round the waist.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try, like a little quick gather in and see what it looks like with the garter, and then take it from there. If I don't like it, I'll pull it out, do something else. You know me, I'm quite happy to pull out. So yeah, we're getting there, but just been so nice outside. I just thought, let's get cracking and do what we can.
Sometimes you just have to be outdoors because you never know when you're going to be able to come out again. Oh, hey, Catherine, she's here, stringing beads. Hi, Michelle, how are you doing?
Oh, Michelle did a really stellar job at our run this morning. She ran up the Curly Whirly Bridge 3 times.
Oh, well, it's funny you should use that word, because she says she's a bit late due to internet issues and the need for a Stella to manage the stress.
I love a Stella, but unfortunately can't drink it anymore.
Yeah, we don't call it that. We call it wife beater.
Wife beater, yeah. It's a good drink though, but it's well deserved. Well done, Michelle.
Well, she's worked hard for it today.
She's worked hard for that beer.
What time is it with you, Catherine? I know it's in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Isn't it sort of like quite early, like 9 o'clock across there? Tell us what.
Possibly not even breakfast yet early, because we often catch Catherine with the coffee while we're getting drunk.
Is it coffee? I've got no alcohol tonight. I am tea, black tea, and lemon squash.
I've just got orange squash.
It's too hot for anything else other than a beer, which I can't drink, or a white wine, very, very, very chilled white wine, but I haven't got that either.
I've got very, very chilled Prosecco, but the problem with that is I'll drink the bottle.
Well, you know, Prosecco Friday is a thing, so you could have a glass tonight and then finish it off on Prosecco Friday.
Yeah, but it's way day Saturday.
Ah, that's not good.
And I've been so good all week, and I want a loss, but, you know, it's just got to happen.
Okay. Oh, Catherine says 10:37 a.m. She's working.
Goodness, that's keen.
I was cleaning the cooker at 10:37 this morning.
So, Catherine, are you going to send us some of those lettuce and kale?
Ooh.
She's got a glut of lettuce.
Do you know, I've got quite a few lettuce coming up and spinach.
Has Mary dear got the TARDIS? Because we could maybe nip across and have a quick lunch with Catherine when she gets her break.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
And bring some lettuce back and a bit of kale from the garden.
I could take her one of my sweet corn plants. Do you think she'd appreciate a baby sweet corn?
Yeah, absolutely. Just incidentally, if you grow the full size ones, you have to do them in great big blocks. You have to do them in like 12s or 15s or 20s in rows, like in a formation.
Right.
A square, so that they support one another apparently. I only know that because Jake's dad used to grow them on the allotment, and they used to look like a load of soldiers in one corner. It was a bit like a barracks.
You're not watching Monty on Gardener's World then?
I haven't watched very much on terrestrial at all. My Skybox is acting up.
Oh no.
And it's playing up in the every time there's an update. It takes potentially weeks of rebuild the planner, rebuild the planner, rebuild the planner, and I'll do it several times a day to force it to restart, rebuild the planner. But then I'll go to whatever channel on the listing and it just says no synopsis available. So it might say Murdoch Mysteries, but I have no idea what flaming episode it is. And I might not want to watch it.
It's ridiculous.
So I spoke to Sky, who said, well, if you upgrade your box to a cube box.
Yeah, and pay like twice the amount.
And we'll charge you more. They're trying to increase my monthly cost to, I think, 25 quid, because they said it includes a load of extra stuff I've already got anyway for less money.
It's because they just want to sell you stuff.
Oh, and Yvonne's here. Hey, Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
Lovely to see you. How's your, is it Gish? Wish? It's an annual charity thing that Yvonne does.
Oh, cool.
And it's all crazy tasked. I did see a photograph of a really beautiful and decorative mask that she'd made as part of it.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, I've been reading a book.
Which book?
All about Nigel.
All right, are you showing me on screen? Because I'm on the wrong screen. I'm looking at the comments on Facebook. Right, go back. That book, okay.
That book, Nigel.
Yeah, Nigel, for anyone that isn't sure, is the cute one on the left with the fur coat.
As opposed to the cute one on the right without the fur coat.
Yeah.
I like both of them. But Nigel died.
We do like our poshers, though, in the UK, don't we? We like our sort of down-to-earth posh blokes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat a man who's called Montague, can you? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he went to Oxford and studied English, but no.
Well, I've been to Oxford.
I've never actually been to Oxford or Cambridge, actually.
I've been to both, but not to study.
I graduated from Durham. Does that count?
Does. It's a prestigious university.
Oh, well, I have a 2-1 from Durham.
Well, there you
are. Yeah. So, oh, it's too hot for this.
I have a certificate that says I can swim one width.
Yay!
In fact, I found my bronze award the other day.
What did you have to do for that? Like put your face in the water and
they threw a rubber brick into the water, and then you had to put some clothes on that you'd brought specifically for the purpose, which included clothes. And then you had to swim down and bring out the brick, and then you had to save someone who was pretending to drown.
Yeah, I remember my kids doing that.
Yeah, I found that excuse me, tremendously difficult, because the person I had to save was someone who had bullied me at school, and I just wanted to let her drown and hold her head under.
You should have done a sneaky one. Pretend. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Oops.
Oopsie. Sorry. My bad. Oh, so hot, but it's lovely. I'm not complaining. I love the heat, me.
My mum absolutely loves it, but even she's saying, you know, I surrender today. They've been shopping. They've done the supermarket shop today.
Oh.
I mean, I was looking at my Fitbit, and I looked at the forecast earlier in the week, and I'm sort of looking at the software and faffing around with it and thinking, weather forecast, Thursday, it's not happening. So I'd cleared Thursday, so I didn't have to do exercise, but I did have to put in 40 minutes odd, about 43 minutes it was, including the cool down, of quite a heavy aerobic session yesterday.
Yeah.
And I must have absolutely stank after that. And I really struggled in the heat yesterday. And I looked at my Fitbit earlier, and it says, yay, 81 minutes of activity. And I'm thinking, knitting? That would be knitting. But it can't be anything else. And it says I've had 5 minutes at peak heart rate, and that coincides with hanging up the washing in the heat.
Well, you know what? In this weather, any kind of activity is hard work. So, you know, I'd take it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that for the win. I'll just check and see if Yvonne will have answered my questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Emma says, Michelle says that she really enjoys your runs and chats, and there's another Stella in the freezer in preparation.
If only I could.
Oh, Catherine says we can come over. We're entering phase 3 of our reopening here. Only one case on the island, first in over a month, and she's got snow peas coming up as well. So even more for us to take home with us. That sounds good. Yvonne says we had a mini 24-hour gish during the quarantine. The 1 week event happens in the first week of August.
Right.
I know it's in the summer because you always disappear in preparation and while that's running, don't you? Because it's quite intensive, some of the tasks.
I do disappear in the summer as well. There's just too much to do around the house and the gardens and stuff, and I just don't have enough time.
Well, and I'm not being funny, but autumn and winter are fairly long and drudgery in the north.
Yeah.
When we get a bit of sun, we can't help but go outside, even if it's just to say, it burns us, precious. It burns us.
Thing is, I am a southerner, so, you know, I do come from right on the south coast. You can see the Isle of Wight from where I lived. So I'm not used to the northeast wind that we get up here in the winter. It is horrible. It is dismal, and I just don't like it. And this is me. I love this. I actually had a really bad day yesterday. It was Callum's birthday, and I don't know if it was a combination of that and not being able to do much for him, and I was feeling a bit guilty, and the weather. And I just, for the first time in many, many, many years, I felt homesick, and I cried, and I really wanted to be at home. And all I wanted to do was, we used to go, my mum and dad would drive down because my mum's disabled, but we'd all walk down to the beach, go to their beach hut, and we'd all gather there, put the radio on, play cards, have a takeaway. Kids would be, you know, faffing around, take it in turns to take them down the water or whatever. And it's just so nice, and I really, really missed it. Yeah. But, you know, what can you do, eh? Nobody can go anywhere.
Well, and the beaches down south are all full of COVID idiots at the minute.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I mean, the only saving grace would be if, you know, we were able to go to my mum and dad's beach hut. At least you're a little bit separated away from them.
Yes.
But no, I don't know what it was that got me yesterday. Really, it did. It got me for the first time in many years. Normally quite happy to be away from my family, to be honest.
Well, that's families, isn't it? So Yvonne's saying 200 tasks for 15 people and a week to get it all done.
Oh, that's not long, is it?
No, and some of them require a lot of coordination and planning and who's going to do what. And so, yeah.
Oof. Nightmare. Oh, I took some photos of my dress that I'd finished.
Let's have a look.
Shall I put them up?
Yeah. Whip them out.
Whoop whoop. They're on my, what do you call it? On my project page that we might soon be not really going to anymore. Hang on. Eyes on. Share screen. If only I could do this a little bit more, you know, fluid without having to be going on doing this and doing this. I sound like a right idiot. Right, can you see that?
Oh, that's really sweet.
With the buttons on it. Photo number 1. Photo number 2. With a little bear there. I don't know what's going on here. I think that must be my join. That must be my cast on join. You can see a little snicket. It's the edge. There's the ruffles. Do you know what? I couldn't work out how she was going to do those when I looked at the pictures, but it's actually really quite simple once you get going. There we go. There she is. Beautiful. There's the front.
It is adorable.
Yeah. So hopefully the sleeves all fit. Like I said, I was just a little bit worried. She sent some photos of the baby, like a 3D scan today, and she said that she thinks she's going to be a chunk like the first one.
Ouch. Do you know, I was stinging at the thought of it.
Oh, honestly, it's what put me off having more kids, I think. That and the fact that I had the ectopic and the doctor said that I shouldn't try and have any more kids. But I think if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't do pregnancy very well, I'd have had at least another couple.
Yeah, I wasn't well at all. It just, yeah. It was one of those where I think it really put Kevin off, and he just said, no, we're not doing this again. He said, I'm not putting you through that.
No.
And I would have liked to have had one more.
Yeah.
So that Jake had a sibling, but he's got so many cousins courtesy of my brother that it's all fine.
Yeah. Does he see a lot of them?
He's in touch regularly with them. They're all WhatsApping, Facebooking, and chatting online. They don't spend a huge amount of time together. If we've got a family do, then they'll all go out together after that.
Mm-hmm. And
be out till the early hours and have a rare old time. But it's only if we've got a particular get together that it's. And my nephew didn't want a party for his 21st. He doesn't like. He's a bit of a gob on a stick.
Okay.
Don't know where he gets that from.
It's not a family trait at all, is it?
No. We're all a bit shy, really. But he's a bit mouthy and a bit gob on a stick. But he does not like to be the centre of attention at a party or anything like that where everybody's watching him.
Yeah,
Hates it. And my brother talked him into a 21st. He flatly refused to have an 18th. And then about 2 weeks having agreed to organise it, he came back and said, I'm not having a 21st. I don't want one. Jake was gutted because he was really looking forward to it. But I was probably like Tyler thinking, oh, well, I don't have to be social. I can just send him a present for his birthday.
You have Jomo?
and wish him well.
Did you have a bit of Jomo?
Sorry?
Did you have Jomo?
Yeah.
I love a bit of Jomo, me.
Yeah, I love seeing them all, but I'm equally glad to get home.
I won't have a party. I've never had a party. Even when I got married, didn't want a party because I have got a huge fear of nobody turning up. It is like a real fear that you put on a party and you invite like 100 people and 4 people turn up.
We had about 45 from 120 invited at our evening do for our wedding.
Yeah.
But we did clash with Ulverston Carnival.
Right. But it is still a party with 45 people, isn't it?
Oh, we had a great time.
Exactly.
You know, I'll still pass people on the street who will go, "Oh, your wedding, top night," and it was completely mad and utter lunacy. But you know,
I got married in St. Lucia, avoided the whole thing.
it's a very clever tactic.
Cost £10,000 for that holiday and everything. The wedding itself cost 500 quid.
Really?
Yeah, and the rest of it went on the best accommodation we could get. We went to Sandal, St. Lucia, and we had a villa with a private pool.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, all inclusive. Highly recommend it. My mum and dad came. They stayed on a different resort, came across for the wedding. And yeah, perfect. So all that money that you would normally spend on a wedding, we had the holiday of a lifetime.
Well, our wedding was £512.
Excellent.
And our honeymoon,
yeah,
was spent at work. I was back at work on the Monday.
Shocking.
Yeah, in fact, we've still not had our honeymoon.
You fancy it? Do you think you should get in contact with him and say, "Oi, you still owe me a honeymoon"? How do you think that would go?
Not sure his new wife would appreciate that. Although this year, at least, he did manage not to send me her birthday text.
Yeah, that would be really good.
That was hilarious.
Did she get a honeymoon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Isle of Skye.
I've always wanted to go there. Can you believe this is the weekend we should have been doing Woolfest? I'm really sad.
I am a bit gutted about that, so we'll have to have a Woolfest regret, but never mind.
What are you doing tomorrow? Because my plan was to get up really early tomorrow morning and drive down and do the Woolfest on the Friday and the Saturday, stay the Friday night and then come home the Saturday evening after going back and doing it again. Because you feel that then you don't have to like rush around, and if you feel like sitting down for a coffee for an hour in the middle of the day, you can. That was my thinking behind it.
That's the thing, isn't it? I'd even arranged that Mike would sit the chooches and I wouldn't have to worry about the dogs and just drop them in and be at Woolfest. I was all organised, so yeah. Never mind.
Where would we have gone for dinner? What would we have been having?
We were planning a steak, weren't we, at the Premier Inn?
Yes, because I can eat steak. I'll have to have a steak tomorrow night instead, then why not? I'll have to cook one myself.
I'll have to buy some when I go to Aldi in the morning. I've got to take Jake to college and then I'm going to go and do the Aldi shop.
Yeah. How's he getting on?
Exciting plan. Seems happy enough. He ended up having yesterday off because he'd passed the CAD exam with flying colours, and she said it was a waste of time him coming in to do a day on CAD when he clearly didn't need it. So a group of them didn't have to go in. So they went to Coniston with Rosie, and the boys were fishing and the girls were sunbathing.
Excellent.
And then we finished at 1:45 today. And again, Chip picked him up, Matthew, and they're at Coniston again fishing, back at whatever ridiculous time.
Is it busy over Coniston, or is it okay?
The east side of the lake, the National Park Authority had actually closed the road because the COVID-idiots were just being absolute morons, and they were parking in such a way that people couldn't get to their own homes. It's a very narrow lane around the lake.
Right.
And a lot of it is single track
Yeah.
with passing spaces, and they were parking and making it so that the road was completely impassable for anyone who actually lived there. So the National Park Authority and the Forestry Commission got permission from the County Council to close the road for a period of time to prevent misuse.
Could you imagine if somebody needed like an ambulance or something and they just couldn't get past?
Well, it'd have to be the air ambulance, which, I mean, given how much a helicopter costs, it's exceptionally wasteful.
Yeah, it's not on.
So Yvonne's saying creative chaos and exhausting but fun, and you get to do things you'd never thought of doing on the gift. So that sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Catherine says, we did a surprise wedding, calling 21 immediate family and friends to a meeting with the minister, dinner afterwards at a nice restaurant that we'd reserved in advance. Oh, sneaky. I like the way you think, Catherine. I wish we'd done that, because that would just have been so easy. I had 4 bridesmaids, a bride's baby, and a matron of honour for a register office wedding. Honestly, nobody had anything to do.
No.
I didn't have a bouquet. There was no flowers for anyone to carry. It was all a bit pointless. They all enjoyed it.
It's sometimes it's because when I told my mum we were going abroad to get married, she cried and she didn't talk to me for ages. And I think sometimes you end up having the wedding that you think your parents want you to have rather than the wedding that you want to have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my mum was suffering depression at the time, and a lot of what was expected was to just keep my mum quiet and stop her shouting.
Yeah. And it's a pity, really, isn't it? My best friend Jane, who lives around the corner, I didn't know her at the time, but she had her first little girl, her oldest, and she was getting her christened and didn't tell any of the people that were going to the christening, but they'd arranged with the minister that they would get married at the same event.
Lovely.
So they christened the baby and then they got married, and then they had a big sort of like barbecue thing, which is nice.
That's a really nice idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to get up and get something to put on my chair because I'm getting sweaty legs and I'm getting stuck. It's just not good.
Doesn't sound attractive.
Oh my goodness. Oh, hang on. I'm just trying to kill the dog now. That's better. Oh, that's better. Oh.
So should we do the elephant in the room?
Go for it.
I think I know the answer in advance, given who's here. But what are we thinking about new Rav? I'm just going to sit back now and wait for the comments.
Yeah. Well, I know that you struggle with it. I said the other day when I first saw it, I haven't spent much time on Ravelry recently. Like I said, I've been out, so I've not really been on my computer or anything. And I saw somebody say something about the new Rav, and I thought, oh, I'll go and have a look. Had a brief look, and I thought, oh yeah, I quite like it. It's nice. I don't understand what the issues are. But then today, when I've seen more being talked about on Twitter, because I follow a couple of people that I have notifications.
Yeah.
Louise Tilbrook is one of them. So when she's been saying a few things about it. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to go and have a proper look. And I went on the Gal after party chat thread, and I scrolled through probably about 10 pages of chat reading, see what people were saying. And I thought I was fine with it. But then this afternoon, I had a headache. Now, I'm not sure. It could be the heat, or it could be that it did affect me and I didn't realise. So, but I don't know.
I felt physically sick after scrolling through 10 or 11 pages of chat, and the length of time it took to get to actually read anything, the amount of white space on each one. It actually felt like a chore to scroll through it, whereas generally speaking, I'm like, oh, what's everybody got to say?
Yeah.
I mean, if I've had a week off or something and I come in and there's 92 million pages of chat, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to jump back in and say, I haven't read anything. Summary, please.
Yeah. we'll have, what's his name from the Princess Bride? What's he called? Let me sum up. What's he called? My name is Montano.
Sorry?
What's he called? That guy from the Princess Bride.
Oh, it's Inigo Montoya.
No, that's him. Yeah. Not Hannah Montana.
No. Inigo Montoya.
That's him.
Catherine's saying on the wedding front that they had relatives threatening to charge her for flights that they hadn't even booked because they weren't invited. So isn't that typical? Michelle says she's not really spent a lot of time, and that's fine. Yvonne hates the overly bright colours, gives her eye strain, and the response to the accessibility issues and health problems people have had is atrocious. Been a number of people have had seizures. Yeah. Catherine, at first I didn't realise the website was making me sick, and it kept happening every time I went on there, and then I found out others had the issues. Exactly what happened to me, Catherine. I had no idea anybody else was having problems.
You don't need a site to do that. But obviously it is.
Well, and they do all this thing of, you know, we're all about inclusivity, everybody's welcome. Judging on the answers and the fact that they've breached international law by excluding screen readers, then clearly not everybody is welcome.
So what's the screen reader? Is that one of those ones that reads it out to you?
A piece of software on your computer, and it basically navigates the page, and there's certain cues or elements. I don't want to get into the coding of it. No, that's not what we're doing. But basically, there are the equivalent of anchors on a page and qualities to an image that describe the image and its purpose. And if you've got a form, so like you're trying to post in a forum, the image, if it's an image, and really it should be text that's styled rather than an image to be sensible, and if it says reply or reply to thread, then it should have some type of alternative text, so that when the user hovers over it, advertently or not, or tabs through the page to get to where they want, the screen reader can say post reply, reply to thread, or interesting, or love, or, you know, whatever the image means. All of those tags are missing. All of those alt tags are missing. So a screen reader has absolutely nothing to work with. And whereas before it had proper alternative text based on a pattern page, based on the name of your pattern, which makes sense to me, a lot of those things aren't working as they should.
Right.
And that's a no-brainer to code.
Well,
working before.
I just think that they've got an agenda, and everyone complaining doesn't suit their agenda.
No. Well, everybody cancelling their advertising and going and selling their stuff elsewhere won't suit their agenda either.
I've cancelled my ads.
And I'm not being funny. I don't mind having a feminine or whatever look to the site. I mean, they're talking about gender neutral, and then something that's now a shopping cart becomes a handbag. How is that gender neutral?
I wouldn't say that.
Am I missing the point? Because Mike wouldn't carry a handbag at gunpoint.
No.
He won't even open my handbag to get my purse out. I'm sure he thinks it's got shark teeth in there. It does. It really does. If you're watching, love, it's got teeth.
I think he's more worried that he might put his hand on some sanitary products by accident or something.
Well, yeah, equally disturbing.
God,
you know, if only. I think I'm a little bit old for all of that jazz, but you know.
He never knows, you know, there might be something left at the bottom.
I think it might go back to when we were first dating and he went in there to get my purse and found a condom or something, and it said ribbed for her pleasure, and he read it out, and I said, well, of course it's for my pleasure.
Yeah.
Not interested in yours. Just looked at me. Thought, yeah, didn't get that joke.
But, you know, that is a given, isn't it, really? So
yeah.
Let's just not go there.
Yeah, it is an honour for you to be even in my presence.
Exactly. Let alone anything else.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I've got left of the.
Close.
Yeah, I don't know whether to change yarn middle of the row or do it right after this little reverse stockinette bit where it won't be seen. I think that's the point to change, because otherwise I'll have double yarn in the centre there.
I still don't get this whole, I'm gonna have to have one on my back as well, sorry. I'm just a little bit special tonight. It's better. Don't ever buy a fake leather chair to sit on.
Yeah, it's like having leather seats in your car on a hot day, burnt backside.
I have leather seats in my car, well, the Lexus. However, it has these really gorgeous fans that blow cold air up your fufu, and it's really nice.
Yeah, Yvonne's saying, what exactly was feminine about the old look in the green, because she doesn't get it, and I'm absolutely agreeing. Catherine says she's going through mourning because of the lack of response, and if not fixed, the community she's relied on during COVID is shrinking. And one of her favourite designers is physically ill from the site and having to get more help.
Oh, that's not good.
Is that me, Catherine? It must be me. It must be me. I didn't think I looked that bad.
You're one of my
Rita says, while I haven't been physically affected by the Ravelry changes, I'm dismayed and appalled by the tone deafness from the powers that be. It's sad because it's been such an amazing site, and we were talking off camera before we came online, and one of the things we both said is the response that people say, the powers that be say it's free. No, it isn't free. We are designers, aren't we, Yvonne? And we pay for it with our advertising, as do the yarnies, the yarn shops, companies like Sadler and Barocco and all the others. We pay for it with commissions on pattern sales.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for it in advertising. We pay for it because we pay our $5 a year or whatever it is to upload our pictures and all bits like that. And odd occasions where they've in the past, before they had enough money to fund the site, then I was making regular donations. Whenever I had a good month of sales, I would use the donate button and send them some cash. And a lot of people were doing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of big name designers did that regularly. So it's not free. At the beginning it was, while they were building their business, when no one's in profit. Yeah. But it's not free now. They said themselves they had surplus profits in May that they donated to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. And how are they able to do that?
Well, and to be honest, they'd have been better off spending that money on an accessibility consultant. But hey ho.
I'm thinking that Cassidy's got an issue with June, because it was exactly this time last year that the whole Trump thing kicked off.
Was this when Cassidy had the transition?
This is when she changed, So I'm wondering if there's an issue with June, because she definitely imploded at the end of June last year, and it's all imploding again this year. What's going to happen next year? I mean, I've heard rumours that people think that they've sold it.
I suspect, I'm just speaking as a developer, not as anything else, not as a designer. I suspect that it's got to the limits of Cassidy's coding ability.
Okay.
And the site originally, I don't know if anybody knows, was built with something called Ruby on Rails, which is an add-on piece of software that you put on a Linux server. I only know because I have a Linux server for my websites, and Ruby on Rails is an add-on install that I can put on there. It's not something I have ever coded with or have any familiarity with. And the one time I looked at it, I sort of went, I was all Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest, where she just goes, and thought, yeah, I'm not learning that. That's worse than a foreign language. That's just gibberish.
Okay.
I suspect that Cassidy, bless her, has got to the level of her coding ability and needed external help. Now, I don't know if they have changed platform, because when you go to classic Ravelry, which is using the same style sheet they've always used, doesn't necessarily function in exactly the same way, and it has the accessibility issues that it never had before with the screen reader stuff and the alternative text, which all worked before, which makes me wonder if they have changed platform and that's what's caused the loss of some of the functionality. And the logic behind that is that people have been asking for a variety of new features, and I don't think it would have been possible with Ruby on Rails as it was.
Okay.
So either it's the platform that's the issue, or it's the level of Cassidy's coding ability that's been reached. Because we've all got a limit of, in our special expertise, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Pontificating, hand waving, nose picking, knitting. There's always somewhere that we get to and we think, yeah, I've reached my level, I need someone else to take over. And I think that's why they've got Livia, but I'm not sure that Livia is the girl, bless her. And I feel sorry for her because I believe she's been hounded on Instagram and other social media by the nastier elements of Ravelry.
That's not fair. That shouldn't be happening.
All her social media accounts have been quietly deleted and her website's been removed except for a holding page. And so clearly she was getting a lot of flack. And the reality is that whoever specified what she did and paid her to do what she did is the responsible party.
And should put that and play it.
And I mean, they talked about how they'd followed standard design practice. Well, that looks at usability first, form and function. And then in the post about how it came to be, she said, started with the colours. No, because that's not where you start at all. That's where idiots start.
Well, it's how I buy a car. Do I like the colour?
Now Michelle's saying Emma's car is the best for cold air. Gutted about what I'm reading about Ravelry as a newbie because she was just learning how to use it. Well, it functions in much the same way. There are just elements that are being worked on at the moment. I think they'll get it right. I don't think they've got any choice but to sort it out.
Because, I mean, people stopped buying on Ravelry. I do okay on Love Knitting. I think I've sold maybe 3 patterns there this month. But that's the only other place I have, Ravelry and Love Knitting. I stopped on Etsy because people just still send you a message after a few days saying, where is my handmade cashmere jumper for £3.50? It's not turned up in the post. You know, even though you've got pattern in big letters, I just found it was too much hassle and I came off of Etsy. And there's not really anywhere else. I mean, where do people go and look for their patterns?
Well, Yvonne was signing up with another one, which I've signed up for this afternoon. Pay something, I'll find it in a moment. So Catherine's saying it's not free for the designers who pay fees and advertising, and she was expecting they'd ignore her, but not the designers. Well, exactly, and the yarnies as well, the yarn producers and yarn companies. Some of the yarn companies have big design budgets there.
Yeah.
And a small backup staff, Yvonne's saying, doesn't excuse ignoring the accessibility guidance and really not having a backup plan for what do we do if the hits the fan. Lack of response answers means people come up with their own answers, and the sale rumour's gotten traction, and it probably is just a rumour. Catherine's saying, adding to this, that her husband's in marketing social media and says it's harder to set the record straight if people start providing their own answers. Absolutely, you have to get ahead of that curve. And they've said they completely want to overhaul the programming to make things more compatible with each other. which I can understand.
What does that mean? Who are these each other compatible? I don't understand.
I think that they are using modules from different kinds of pieces of software to get the functionality. And maybe what they've moved to will allow them to do it all within the same thing, whatever said thing is. I think that's what the difference.
So
obviously, if Livy is the only expert and she hasn't got a Scooby, that's kind of a worrying turn. You're saying quite rightly, harassing Ravelry staff is not the way to go.
No.
Rita's saying the explanation about the platform was helpful. I'm glad that helped, Rita. You know, they've got to have a platform they can work with. I've been upgrading and building websites for 20-something years now, and every now and then we have to do a major update. And I always run the two sites in tandem. I check everything at the other end before I swap it and put it in place of the old site. But I still have the old site. If the client comes back a day or a week later and says, I don't like it, can you swap it over? I can, because I've got a plan. And sometimes that's what happens, you know. It's rare, but it happens. Yeah, Yvonne is answering the question. It's pay hip. Yeah, I knew it was pay something, and I was thinking hip, and I was thinking, am I off my head? It can't be pay hip. That sounds a bit hippie, but that's it.
Is it well known? Because I don't know.
It isn't particularly. It's a digital platform for selling digital products, physical products, and membership subscription type products, and it's similar in terms of cost, 5% commission, or you can have a monthly if you sell a lot of sales where you don't pay any commission and you just pay, say, $99 a month. So if you're on thousands,
that makes sense.
Obviously that makes much more sense, and it guarantees their income every month, that they're never going to drop below 99 from you.
Yeah.
Yvonne's saying quite rightly, people might not necessarily search there for patterns, but she can share those links very easily across social media and platforms other than Ravelry, so that she's not going to get ill trying to sell her wares, and people trying to buy them don't necessarily have to go to the Rav cart.
So we're going to have to spend all our effort onto social media.
We're certainly going to have to do more on social media, yeah, sadly. Well, of course, we're doing it now. Well, superstars that we are. So Yvonne's saying, like the pattern database and forums and profiles will work together better and changes don't have to be made to each one separately. That's how she understood it. Oh, exactly that. I think they have cobbled together using different modules and plugins, and it's a bit like Emma's website, where we've got a plugin to do this and a plugin to do that, and they've all got different tasks, but they all work with the same platform, which is WordPress. Whereas if we tried to introduce something that only worked with Joomla, then that would just fall over because it's two separate languages.
Yeah, and this person still can't even remember how to put new patterns on their website, so we won't go there.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll address it in September when you want to play with it again. So.
What, you mean when I come back to work and stop playing in the garden?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So we need a solution for where we have our chats instead of Rav forums. So I have a potential solution.
Ooh.
If we want smaller groups to chat, we can video chat here in the Facebook group in Facebook Meets. Oh, yeah. We can use Google Hangouts for video chat. I can set that up. The Eyes On software that we're using at the moment, I can have lots of participants on that, so we could video chat, or I could set up some boards on what's called Slack, which is a simple forum where we could just chat there if we wanted to, and then invite whoever we felt like to join us.
That sounds good.
I'm worried at the moment because somebody from the after party, and I promised I wouldn't say who, messaged me overnight and then sent a message to the powers that be
Okay.
And got a very curt reply, and was thinking that they might be thrown off Ravelry because a couple of other people have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, for opinion? I'm sure they weren't.
I'm not sure if it's anything to do with this or something else. The person did mention an individual who'd been got rid of, but whether that was about the trumpery thing, the Trump issue.
Was this a designer that was got rid of? And because that's quite worrying, because your business can be gone in seconds then, can't it?
Well, this is something I've always said about, if you have your own website and you use a variety of platforms, social media or whatever, you've got a backup plan. But if you just have Ravelry, or you just have Facebook, or you just have Instagram, if they go tits up, or you fall out with someone, or there's a problem, it's all gone.
Yeah.
So you do need a variety of places. If you want me to set up a Slack group, or we can pick a time where we maybe get together for a test chat on Facebook and see, or set up a Google Hangout or something.
Sounds fun.
Could easily do that over the weekend if everybody's up for it.
Yeah. I do think
Catherine makes a good point about the time zone differences. That's why she likes the forum. Well, what if I set up a channel or a chat group on Slack?
That's what I would say, is that I think.
And I'll PM you, if I PM you through Ravelry and then I'm all through here.
I think some people like to just do the typey chat rather than,
yeah,
you know.
And you can put GIFs and load up photographs and stuff like that in there. It's how we do backstage for the gift along between the gal.
Right, okay.
So we've been talking for months, and we've been meeting on a Saturday night for Zoom chats. I haven't been for a few weeks, just because of other commitments. And I did want to make an effort to go to one of PJ's, where I got to see Rita and Nita, and PJ obviously. So yeah, that was really nice. And Lilynette.
I'm concerned that if this isn't sorted out by November, what will happen with the gal?
Well, these things are all being discussed at the moment, and a number of people are talking about how it's really affected their sales. And I'm not speaking out of turn because she's been quite vocal about it in the past, but Raven Knits, doesn't like doing email marketing and things like that. And I've been saying to her for several years, you need an email list. And she eventually did it. And I think that will be the thing that helps her.
Yeah.
Over the longer term, because she's building that audience away from Ravelry. I'm sure there'll be a fix.
Yeah.
I'm a great optimist. And I think once they've got over the... trying to find a nice word, the arsery that's going on at the moment, the I'm so offended that you don't like my pretty design thing, they're all being a bit precious about it at the moment.
I think they put it live and we're expecting everyone to go, ooh, pretty, I love it, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sake, I'm 52, I don't need a handbag. What I want is a cart I can throw a ton of patterns in.
And you do.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I shop. On a happier note, would you like to see the top that I'm test knitting?
Definitely.
Shall I share screen? Let me find it first.
This is what I'm saying. I want to do that little sharey thing a bit more slick. It's very much like, oh, let me go here, let me go here.
Now, I love that she's called this roll over the top.
Okay.
So I'll just open that and then I'll share my screen.
We're waiting and tenterhooks.
Right, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do Control Plus and just increase the size. So that's just me messing with the screen. That's not a Rav issue. But I just wanted you to be able to see the pretty details on that neckline. I'm sorry you've got this full boobage there.
Well, you know, it's good boobage.
She's got a lovely figure. You can really go off people. And look at that detail down the side.
It is nice.
Nice little garter opening. Detail down the centre. The nice edges round it. Lovely underarms.
Has she been using like hair removal cream or something? She certainly doesn't shave.
No, it's all beautiful, isn't it? But I just thought this was really simple, very clean lines, very easy to adapt to fit. There's some discussion in the pattern about bust darts for anybody who's got more boobage than I have, and about waist shaping and where you might want to place that, and more hip shaping for the more extreme figures.
And it's just me being really picky, but I've got a thing. I do not like green with blue jeans. It upsets me.
But you love blues and greens.
I love blues and greens, but blue jeans with a green top, I don't know what it is. I just don't like the styling of blue jeans with a green top.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I love that green top and I love blue jeans, just not together.
Yeah, so I thought you might like to see that.
I love that top. I do love that top.
Wow.
She's definitely got a style, hasn't she?
Back to borrowing of me again.
Hello.
Hello.
Real wave. Hello. Yeah, it's very
nice. Catherine's saying it. Hope there's a fix or a viable alternative by the gal.
We've got some time to sort it out, haven't we?
Yeah, Rita's saying that's lovely, very understated and nice clean lines. Yeah. I don't usually do sleeveless, as you know, Michelle, because of my muscular arms, which should really be covered to prevent extreme jealousy at all times. But occasionally I do get my upper arms out and give them a bit of a flap. Oh, Catherine's saying she can really see it in a lovely deep purple. Well, depending on what sizes everybody wants, she's still looking for testers in her group, and it's Hinterm Stein. Jutta is her first name. She's absolutely adorable.
Gotta love a tester.
Yeah, and apart from a tiny little typo in one of the sizes, and she highlights L and XL in the sizing so that you know whether you're before it or after it. You can always see it very quickly on the pattern, which I think is a very clever way to do it. Yeah. And she missed one. Out of the entire pattern, there was one increase or decrease instruction that didn't have that highlighted. And that was, I've read through the whole thing with a fine-tooth comb, and that was it. I mean, the level of detail that she goes to is just fantastic.
That is good.
Oh, Rita says, Emma, every time I wear a green top with jeans, I will think of you now. What you need to do, Rita, is take a selfie. And then we can message Emma with green tops and blue jeans and go,
woo! I see, because I'm really funny, right? I only wear black with black as well. I will never wear black with colours, because I always remember watching Trini and Susanna, and they said don't wear colours with black because it cheapens them or something like that. I can't remember. And I kind of got stuck in the rut. Now, one of my favourite t-shirts is a Queen t-shirt, and it's a green one, and it's the Emerald Bar. Yeah, I can't wear it with blue jeans because it's green and blue and it triggers me. And I can't wear it with my black jeans because I don't like anything with black apart from black. So I kind of end up thinking, what do I wear this t-shirt with? Great jogging bottoms is about the only option I'm left with. So I know, it's not good being in my brain sometimes. I have a touch of the old autism, I'm afraid.
I think we all do, particularly about new Rav at the moment. Definitely not liking change. And I'm generally the one who'll be excited about a new look or be thinking, oh, what functions have we got?
Yeah.
But to be honest, in the forums bit, when we looked at it, I couldn't see what half the icons were. And I was damn sure I didn't understand what they were getting at.
Well, when I went in to read the chat thread today, you know the buttons at the bottom where it's like educational and interesting and all the rest of it, They're all blurry. You can't see what the words actually say. Is that just me, or is that an actual thing? Is that?
It is an actual thing that lots of people are experiencing.
So what's doing that then?
And somebody had asked someone else to post so that it wasn't in their name.
Okay.
Had been a beta tester and said that throughout testing they had been complaining about things like this, and because it was making her so ill, she had to stop being a beta tester.
Right. And they didn't pay any attention.
And they were tone deaf about it then. So
they've got an
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It saddens me because they have put so much work into this. I mean, when did I join? I don't know. 2008, I think.
When did I join? Does it tell you the homepage?
Yeah, it's on your profile page. Let me go to me.
Profile.
November 12th, 2008, and I am Ravelry number 213,005.
I was November the 29th, 2011, and I don't know what Ravelry number I am because it didn't tell me.
There's this thing you have to do to be able to see it, but it probably doesn't work now.
Probably not.
Oh, so Catherine's got to go because the sky is falling on a contract evaluation, so she's got to sort out for people at work. See you later.
Toodles.
Go on, give them a good slap.
Nice to see you. To see you.
Yeah, Rita's going to run off now and just get changed into her green top.
Oh no! Oh, it upsets me. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Does she look absolutely beautiful?
She will. It's just my quirk. Nobody else has to pay any attention to my quirks.
Oh,
I can't help it. I'm a weirdo. Helen's with us.
Hey Helen, how you doing?
How are those boys? Are they enjoying being back at school? My stepdaughter sent her son back to nursery, and she said he was happy as Larry.
I saw my neighbour today, and her boys have been at school right through because she's a key worker.
Yeah.
And she said it's just been a saving grace because the elder one is due to go to secondary school in September, and obviously it's quite important that last time period at primary.
Yeah.
Oh, Yvonne joined the year before I did. Over a year before me. So lovely to see Helen as well. So Yvonne is Ravelry 32,571. I joined on an invite for a girl who I knew, who I'm still friends with on Facebook, through the Eat Right for Your Type forum. And I happened to mention that I knitted, and she went, "Do you know about Ravelry?" No, what's that? And you had to then either be invited and then you registered and then you got an email saying you can join now. And sometimes that could be months.
Right.
It was, so that's how careful they were when they were building it to start with. This is why it surprises me now. It's very out of character based on how they've built that business.
Yeah.
It just all seems very odd.
It was Cassidy's baby, but I just get the feeling increasingly that she just wants to wash her hands of it. It's too much hassle now. I don't know, maybe I just get the wrong end of the stick. But, you know, we are a demanding bunch, I suppose.
Yeah, but we are also paying to fund it and paying them, I might add. If I talk to my web customers like that and was tone deaf to their problems, I mean, if they've got an issue and it's not something I can fix because it's not fixable and it's nothing to do with the website, or I get phone calls about, well, my BT email won't work. Well, I'm not bloody BT, am I? What's that got to do with me?
You should know everything.
But they'll expect you to sort it out rather than ring BT.
Yeah.
And there are times where I will just say, oh, I'm sorry, it's not within my purview of expertise. I do not know.
It's a big posh word.
And I'll throw them back. Or I'll say, well, try this, this, and this. And then if that doesn't work, ring BT support, because this is actually their problem. It's not mine. And you don't want me billing you at £45 an hour just to sort this out, do you? And that generally ends the conversation.
You wouldn't have to sort it out.
Something that's my fault, I would stay up all night for days to fix it.
Yeah.
Or at least give them a realistic timescale of, you know, I mean, I've upgraded a site from PHP 5, which is the old operating system on Linux for the software, up to PHP 7, and that was a major upgrade. And generally, I would do that over about a month, and I would run series of tests. But the client had left it so late that the old software was insecure, and I would have to have deleted them from the server to keep everybody else safe. That's how late they left it.
Right.
And sometimes that just happens, and I had to almost force them off the server to get them to make that investment to do that change. But I then spent my entire Christmas holiday working on it to make it happen, because my customer needed that.
That's dedication, that is.
Well, you know, I mean, I had Christmas Day off, but I was working again Boxing Day, and I didn't work New Year's Day. Not that I'd got drunk or anything, and Mike wasn't here. I was on my own anyway. Jake was away. Right. So it wasn't a big deal, but we were planning on going on holiday.
Yeah.
Last minute thing. And it couldn't happen because of this. Well, the reality is that without my customers, where is my business?
And you can't have a holiday then anyway, can you?
Well, exactly. So Anna's saying that it took a while when she joined, and they let her in about a month after Yvonne. So 49,252, December 11th, 2007. So yeah, both of you were in almost a year for you, and definitely a year for Yvonne before I joined. I feel a bit late to the party.
When did they set up?
I think 2006 or 2007. They did a lot of beta testing with small amounts of users and really grew the community quite slowly over a long period of time, didn't they? I mean, it was a long time before there were 1 million users.
Right.
And now there's maybe, I don't know, is it 8 or 10 million registered users?
There are, strangely enough, though, still people out there who are knitters or crocheters or whatever, and they don't know about Ravelry. I don't understand that.
Yeah, the computer says no. I just don't get it either. I kind of think, where have you been? But then I felt like that when I found about it. I was thinking, why don't I know about this?
Whole world that I had no idea existed.
Yeah, and I bet some amazing friends.
Yeah.
Not you, obviously, but you know.
No. Well, you met me on there, but I'm not an amazing friend. Yeah.
Oh, you're an awesome friend. You look like.
Oh, thank you.
And Yvonne came to stay with me because we met on Ravelry, and I met with Annette and Helen. We've obviously met, and the other Helen Gibson.
Oh, and Helen was supposed to be meeting up with us at Woolfest this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're all grieving Woolfest and Ravelry at the moment while we figure out what on earth they're doing.
Although actually my birth is probably very happy that I'm not going to Woolfest this weekend, judging by the amount of money I've spent at Yarndale.
Well, I'm kind of there. I've got one more increase to do, I think.
What? Every time you keep showing that left front like that, I keep wanting to say it's like an over-the-shoulder boulder holder.
What kind of isn't it? A tit sling. So Yvonne's saying she was still a beta tester and helped fill the database with yarns and patterns.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I as soon as I started adding my stash, I started adding yarns and adding patterns. And I still come across stuff that I try and add, and I put 6 patterns on last week. Not mine, just stuff that happened to fall into my cart elsewhere.
Yeah.
Accidentally. That auto cart thing you sometimes get.
What, that one where you put things in your cart thinking about it for later and they suddenly appear in your library?
Yeah, and then you get this emailed receipt thing.
Yeah, I know that one. It's a conspiracy between Ravelry and PayPal.
It is. I need to count my stitches.
Oh, okay. I'm just still scooting along with my little skirt. It's not really going very far at the minute, but we'll get there. We will get there.
All right, I've got 45 stitches. I think that's what I need.
What did you need? Tell us, 45?
Oh no, I need 49.
Oh no, so does that mean you still got to increase a bit more?
It does, but
No,
that's fine. We're good with that. We're good with that.
let's get on with it.
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Didn't you just say that you have to trust the pattern?
Yeah, I'm just counting. It is a test knit though.
That's true. That's the
I'm
other.
just counting up and thinking I've got this many stitches now.
Are you sure you've not miscounted while we've been gabbing?
I think I have been pretty good, but
Okay.
you never know.
Oh my goodness. I tried to have a nana nap this afternoon, but it was
You didn't get one?
well, kind of, but every time I was just like drifting off. It was
Wow.
like, whatever.
Risa's saying she was really late to the party, joined coming up to her 5th anniversary with Rav. July 6, 2015, Ravelry number 5,509,512. Oh. See, and that's just the best number, Rita. It's way cool.
It's brilliant.
Well, I think it's interesting how we've all kind of gelled together and found our way into our little corner of happiness, really.
Yeah. A little woolly corner
Yeah, it's all good.
without Woolfest. Are we going to make Edinburgh Yarn Festival next year though?
I don't know.
That's the question. It's messing up our long-term festival plan, isn't it?
It is, and Claire Dyer was Joan's daughter was hoping to join us at Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year, and then they decided to take a year off. That should have been the hint, shouldn't it? We should have taken the hint at that point that 2020 was going to rats.
When Edinburgh Yarn Fest decided they weren't going to on this year.
It's their fault.
So basically, they've just started a snowball effect, haven't they? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So has everybody got a tent in their garden for Glastonbury?
Glastonbury? No.
I haven't got a tent in my garden. We do have a pop-up tent that Jake uses when he's fishing, but we've just got gravel and I've got a bed upstairs and it's like way comfy. So
yeah. And also, you need the TV in order to watch the Glastonbury channel. So how can you go and camp in the garden for your festival when you can't watch the telly?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Let's all just camp in our bedrooms. It'll be fine. Does that mean that we could get one of them barbecues, the throwaway barbecues?
Actually, I've got one over in the corner, an instant barbecue that I got in Home Bargains last week.
Perfect. So crack on with the sausages. Oh, talking of sausages, did I tell you I was trying a Morrison's Click and Collect at the weekend when I spoke?
No.
Well, before I spoke to you, I went online and I had the power cut, didn't I?
Yes.
I don't know what that was about, but you could hear all the alarms going off all down the street. It was obviously quite a big power cut, and it was off until probably about, I don't know, 5:30ish, I think.
Right.
But I am quite near a level crossing, and they're quite often out on a Sunday doing work, so I don't know if maybe the workmen
cut through a power cable. Yeah.
Who knows? But anyway, before I spoke to you, went on Morrison's website and I thought I'll just see if I can get a click and collect, because the one that I go to has got a new banner up in the car park for it. They never offered it before. So I thought I'll have a look, and I managed to snag a slot on Tuesday morning between 8 and 9:30 to go and collect my shopping.
Right.
I'll give it a go, because I normally go on a Tuesday and I go for a run first thing. and I normally come home sometime between like 8 and 8:30, so I can get my shopping on my way home. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you don't know till you try. So I ordered loads of stuff, and it was fine. Most of the stuff I wanted was there on the screen, and I could select it. Went to the supermarket. You get a text message on your phone, and it says click this link when you arrive. So I clicked on the link, and it said, are you parked in the bays or nearby? And I said, I'm in the bays. And you click on I'm here. 3 minutes later, 2 young lads came out with all my shopping.
Awesome.
Right? Stuck it in the boot of the car for me and gave me 6 massive, I mean, they were huge. They were bigger than my hand, gingerbread men for free as a bribe to say thank you for using Click and Collect. Please use it again.
Nice.
And everything was there. There was, I think there was one substitution. Caitlin, she likes penne mozzarella, and they didn't have that, so they gave her spaghetti instead of penne, but it was still vegetarian. The only thing they did was they substituted the gluten-free sausages for gluten ones.
Right.
So that was really disappointing, and you can't send your substitutes back at the minute, what with all this stuff going on, so I had to take them. But in future, I'll just, if I'm ordering anything that's gluten-free, I'll just click on the no substitute thing and just remember to do that.
Yeah.
But I was well impressed. I will definitely do that again.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, you know, that's, if anybody gets that service nearby and they feel like trying it, highly recommended.
They do it here, and they do home delivery now, which was a long time coming for our area. And I have to say that Morrison's during COVID have been in members of all the Facebook self-isolation groups in their area.
Right.
Saying you phone this number for an essentials box if you're shielding and nobody can collect for you, and we'll deliver it. And it's this price that's been agreed with like Age UK or something. And if you can't get cash and you can't pay online because you haven't got a card or whatever, Age UK would pay for the shopping.
Right.
And it would be delivered to your home, and then you sort of have this account with Age UK that you sort out as and when.
Yeah.
So there were things like that going on. But when they joined all the self-isolation groups, and, you know, I'm so-and-so, I'm the manager of such and such a store, and if you need our help, get in touch. What I didn't realise is this lady was actually also checking on which companies, who was being laid off. And one of the firms had got rid of about 20 people, and she came online within minutes saying anybody who's been working for this company and is now facing redundancy and uncertainty, this is my direct line, give me a call, I will help you if I can. And she's taken on a number of people that have been laid off by other companies, all kind of customer facing.
Yeah.
So she knows that they've got a history of dealing with customers. So she probably won't have to do masses of training other than their own systems. But I thought that was very proactive. And obviously anyone who said they were really struggling, they were getting people to do deliveries on their way home from work, and they would do them for free. Staff would do them for free. So they bent over backwards actually to help the community, and obviously themselves to substantial profits, let's be honest. But yeah, hats off. And the manager at one of the Aldis was also doing home deliveries after work, but he was being out till 11 o'clock at night and had to knock it on the head.
Yeah, it's hard.
Poor beggar was exhausted.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think, you know, it has shown the best and the worst of humanity, hasn't it, really? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What really annoyed me was a couple of weeks, but well, it wasn't even a couple of weeks back. It was literally, it was probably a good month, maybe 2 months back. Start getting phone calls again. Hi, we understand you've been in an accident. I was like, seriously, right now? Just wind me up.
Oh, do you know what my stock response is now?
Go on.
If it's a real person rather than an auto dialer, I say, yeah, I've been in a terrible accident. Oh, really? Would you like to tell me about it? I said, yes, it's called 2020. and I put the phone down.
That's a good one.
It seems to end the conversation.
I've taken to using as many swear words as I can think of, and I just say lots of different swear words in a row to try and, you know, increase my vocabulary and see how long it takes for them to put the phone down.
Now, my uncle says that what you should do is use words like terrorist cell, Al-Qaeda, Twin Towers.
All right, yeah.
Or something like that, so that the monitoring services that we're not supposed to have at MI5.
Yeah.
That don't exist.
Yeah, that one.
So that they're looking for those kind of keywords, and they'll pick up the phone calls, and then eventually they'll arrest these people for the scammers that they are. But I just don't think government work that way.
No.
I don't think they'd be doing anything that useful. They'd just be coming round to my house and saying, "What's this about a terrorist cell?" And it's us knitting.
Well, you know, my dog's a terror.
Well, and we do scare people with our pointy needles, apparently.
I was watching series 2 of Killing Eve, and I think she kills someone with a knitting needle in the neck.
I've never watched it.
I really like it. I loved the first series. I devoured the first series. And then the second series came out, and I did my normal, I like to leave it until the end and watch it all in one go. And then I forgot until series 3 started airing. And then I was like, well, I can't watch series 2 now, because then I'll start on series 3 and I'll have to wait for episodes of that. So anyway, it's all on now. So I've started on series 2.
So Anna's saying, gingerbread.
Kids really liked them.
Michelle is saying, woohoo, thanks ladies, finally finished one side of a shoulder of her jumper and it's only taken a month. Well done.
Well, you know, like me, Michelle's been out in the back garden.
Well, it's not a sprint, is it? It's not a sprint or a race. It's our own time. She
snaffled a gate today. Someone had put a gate out in the front garden that said "scrap, please take," and she's taken it home. She's going to use it as trellis. So that'll be interesting to see.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like a cast iron one, you know, with all the swirly bits.
Oh, nice.
So she did talk about putting a mirror behind it. So I'm quite excited to see what she does with that. I've just been bitten. I've got another bite come up on my leg. I've got a bite on the back of my leg that happened in the garden on Monday or Tuesday. And it's gone huge, like a massive, great big red hard lump on my calf muscle. And now I've just got a little bite come up on my shin. Something likes me.
Well, yeah, I can see the attraction.
Well, you know, I do keep going around with bare legs. It's my own fault, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Wandering around with your veins on show, just asking to be bitten, really.
It's my own fault.
Should we do the victim shaming now?
Yeah, it's like all those ladies that are wearing nice dresses. It's their own fault, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, or the barrister I know in London who's a young black man,
right,
and drives a very nice car because he's a barrister and he's earned it.
Yeah.
He keeps getting pulled over, and one time they arrested him as going equipped.
Why?
To an area he shouldn't have been in, because he had a hammer and tools in the car to put up a plaque that he'd got made for his girlfriend, but it's now his wife. And he was going to hang it in her house. And they arrested him over this for going equipped. And my argument with that has always been, well, I have the equipment to be a prostitute. It doesn't mean I am one.
What kind would you be? Like a dominatrix?
Oh, God, yeah. I'd be just slapping them about and going, oh, shut up. Just wait for it. I'll be in the other room having a massage and a bottle of Prosecco. You just lie there and quiver.
I love it.
Whatever, you know, it's just... What's Michelle saying? She's waiting for you and the girls to come round to see where you think it will go best and thinking of making it a mock secret garden gate.
Ooh. She needs a little sign that says "Welcome to Narnia." That'd be fun. Are you counting?
Yeah.
Count out loud.
49.
Yay! Virtual high five.
I'm on target and it works. Woo-hoo. The mock secret garden thing, I don't know. I'd be tempted to put a tiny little wardrobe in there.
Wardrobe doors on the outside or something.
Yeah, really go with the theme.
Yeah. I definitely think a little sign, little wooden sign, "Welcome to Narnia," hanging off the corner.
I'm sure there's an episode of Not Going Out, you know, that thing with Lee Mack.
Yeah, my mum loves
shares the flat with Lucy. I love it. And he comes home and she's got this massive wardrobe by the front door, and he just wanders in, looks at it, and goes, "Oh, it's all kicking off in Narnia tonight." Wanders past. And I just love how quick fire he is with stuff like that.
Yeah, he is funny, isn't he? There is actually a bit in Redcar up the road from us, or to say it properly as a local, because you know Redcar is how I would say it as a southerner, but Redcar.
Yeah, Redcar. Yeah.
Redcar, yeah. I think it's like Kofi Marshes or something. It is a piece of wasteland that nothing's happening on it, and the council have just left it for the wild grasses to grow. It's near the beach, so you get all the sand and the grasses that grow in sand dunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that has got a gate, no fence around it or anything, but there is a big metal gate that's shut, and somebody has graffitied Narnia on the gate.
I'm liking that. Right, so this is where I'm at now. I'm about to cut the yarn on the left front and pick up the right front.
So is that going onto stitch holder, or you just?
It'll just stay on the circular needle that I'm using at the moment. It'll be fine. I'll worry about it later because I'll be joining them all on this needle eventually anyway.
Yeah. I wouldn't be cutting the yarn. I don't know why I get really funny about cutting yarn.
I will on this.
Even though I know that I need to cut it. It's just one of my quirks.
Yeah, probably on the other one, if there'd been slightly less left of that ball, I'd have just left it and started a new ball for the next bit that I needed to do. But it was enough that it would have irritated me to then be left with that at the end.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, isn't it?
So my hydrangea, I have to keep watering the poor thing.
Oh, bless.
I think I must have put a gallon of water on it last night and again this morning, and it's still wilted when I went out at tea time.
Okay.
It's just too hot for it. My poor beautiful hydrangea, my favourite. Love that plant.
They are beautiful. I do love hydrangeas.
And it was starting to turn blue again.
Was it?
Yeah. And I found when we've been clearing the nettles and stuff away from the fence, I found an old nail. I want to put it in the pot. Oh, you know, every little helps and all the rest of it.
Of course it does.
But yeah, I'll have to go and water them again in a minute. I don't think it's supposed to get below 20 tonight, is it? Oh, look at that.
Show me armholes big enough for you.
It's gorgeous. Have you used that colour on something else?
No, not this particular yarn. It's the Drop Spell, and the colour's called Moose Green.
Just looks familiar.
I do use a lot of khaki.
It's a nice colour though, I like it.
It's a nice gentle green. It was either this, I've got grey, the zinc grey, which I probably would want for a cardigan so I can have a coloured top like this underneath and I can get the benefit of the colour but still wear the grey. I've got this dandelion colour, probably see it better there,
Yeah.
I've got, oh no, this is moose green. I've got dandelion, which is yellow.
Right. Okay.
It's a soft, lighter yellow. It's not in your face, eggy, sunny.
Yeah.
It's not bright at all. I've got the purple, the Dunkalila, dark purple that my Edie top is in.
Yeah.
My other Edie. I've got some of the light purple, about 8 balls of that. Probably, I don't know, it might be enough to make one of these, and I'd be tempted.
Right.
I've got 14 of this green.
Yeah.
I've got 12 of the dandelion. I've got 14 of the zinky grey, the lighter grey. I've got 1 each of the very pale blue and the pale pink. I thought they'd just do for pocket linings or something if I made something. Whatever.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of the cherry colour, the pinky red. Doesn't suit me, but I bought it to make something for one of my nieces who it looks amazing on. What else have I got? I've got the brown, and I've got one of the beigey colours. So I've got enough to make cardigans and tops.
Yeah.
I always buy enough to make at least a cardigan and a hat, because then you can either make 2 tops or a cardigan and use the rest for pocket linings, cuffs or contrast or whatever.
Talking of cardigans, I'm still waiting for that baby cardigan.
Are you? What baby cardigan?
No, I have no idea. I don't know what I just said that for.
This is the leftovers of my 3rd ball of yarn.
Okay.
I think there's probably half the ball. I will weigh this to confirm it, of Edie that I'm wearing. So around about 2.5, 2.5, 2.6 balls.
That's really
bamboo
good.
cotton. For a fatty top, let's be honest, a
Don't
decent
use that word.
size.
Don't use that word, curvaceous.
Okay, a curvaceous top then, with some extreme shaping.
You make it sound like a sport.
Well, you know, I think if you fell off it at that kind of slope, it could be quite dangerous.
Like parkour.
I like the idea of having dangerous curves.
Parkour knitting.
And I thought you might want to see this.
Oh, now that is a colour that I appreciate.
I don't know if it's a little bit cool for me, but it's the Aldi yarn that I got the other week, last week.
That looked lovely on me.
$3.99 a ball. It's 55% hemp, 45% cotton. It's double knit. 370 meters per 200 gram ball for $3.99.
Do you not think that that is a good colour for me though?
It probably is a good colour for you, but tough titty. I'm going to make something for me. It's a nice try though. I have got some yarn for you, but we'll talk about that next time we're online.
Oh.
We'll talk about that on Sunday and about why they're the perfect colours for you.
Okay.
And it says there's a crochet bookmark pattern on the
Oh, is there?
There is. Yes.
Oh.
There is a neat little written pattern for a bookmark. I thought I'd have a look so that I could give you all the facts. And then I did a bit of Googling because I've not actually used hemp. I've knitted a lot with linen and other fibres.
Yeah.
But I've not used hemp. And what I didn't realise, they say that it hasn't got a marvellous amount of stretch.
All right, okay.
So you need to bear that in mind. But the cotton will have a bit of stretch. Cotton tends to grow as you wear it.
Okay.
Not as much as bamboo. But I've got cotton tops that are bigger by the end of the day.
Right.
Not massively, but enough that you feel like you've got more room, comfortably so.
A bit like a pair of jeans then.
So cotton's got a little bit of give, but it says that hemp hasn't.
That's your telling bone.
I don't know who it is either.
It's probably someone asking if you've been in an accident.
It might be Roger about the bus thing because we've had a development on the bus charity. But anyway, what I was reading about hemp is that it's antibacterial.
Oh.
That it's exceptionally hard wearing, much more so than linen, cotton and other fibres.
Right.
And it holds its shape. and then it makes an extremely sturdy fabric, and the more you wash it, the softer it is. And I wouldn't say it's any harder on the hand than knitting cotton and linen or anything like that. It's not as soft as the drop spell, which is cotton, linen and viscose. Well, viscose could be anything from bamboo to an acrylic. It's just the way the fibre is spun and how fine it is. So it could all be natural, or it could be partly synthetic. Who knows? So it's bound to have a different feel. But this, apparently, every time you wash it, it will get softer. And apparently it keeps its dye. Oh. It keeps its colour. But it does say in quite big letters on the back, wash dark colours separately.
Okay.
Now, whether that's just because they've learnt their lesson, that, you know, we all just shove stuff in together and it up for the best and then moan about it afterwards. Me.
Like putting on a cup of coffee, warning contents might be hot, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. It is a bit like that. It does kind of tickle me that they feel the need to do that. But,
you know, packet of nuts, warning, may contain nuts.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So did you see the post I shared the other day about if 2020 were an ice cream van?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, Helen's saying that she probably airbrushes her pits.
Now
I love that, Helen.
I need to do.
Absolutely love that. I suspect there's a lot of Veet going on there because they're beautifully done, aren't they? And mine certainly never look that nice.
You know, I would quite like to, you know, get up close and personal and have a good old look in those pits, I tell you.
I feel a bit like being the Celeste Barber of the knitting world. If you've seen Celeste Barber on Facebook,
right?
If you look her up, she's an Australian comedian.
Okay.
She's always referring to the hot husband, who's and he is a hot husband as well. He's a lovely looking lad.
Right.
Whereas she's a little bit more plumptious.
So she's punching.
Certainly slimmer than I am, but she's got a little bit of a belly and stuff. But she takes some of these Instagram videos that Kim Kardashian and people like that do.
I know her.
And then she does her version of her falling off the railing.
Yeah.
And tripping up over her own shoes and pulling her knickers up over her shoulders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of being the Celeste Barber of the knitting world and having all these big, you know, like a massive sort of hedgehog bush of underarm hair for the
I think that could be, you know, it's a USP, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I could put hair clips in.
I mean, I just need to stop shaving for a couple of days and it'd be fine. I can just brush it.
Yeah, I do feel like my legs at the moment, I could be plaiting.
Mine are all right, actually, because where I've been running in shorts, I've had to deal with them. And you don't need the isolation at the minute, do you? Let's be honest.
Well, I need to give my feet some attention because my toenails are looking a bit rough.
Yeah.
There's one or two bits of hard skin and stuff, so I'm going to have a foot soak one evening.
I can just imagine you doing an Andrea Ray fade version. One of those photos where she's like giving it all, you know, these beautiful, and you like, yeah. Let's do it. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of being the Celeste Barber of the knitting world and doing like real photographs.
Yeah.
Belly hanging out at the bottom of the garment and
because people try to get these lovely photos and it's such hard work. I think it'd be just much more fun to do something like that.
I don't know. We've talked around this topic for years about size inclusive and plus size, and the reality is that a number of designers have said where they show a plus size person as their hero shot or first photograph, they don't sell as many as they do with other designs. Now, whether that's because they've got the wrong person to test in terms of body shape for the style, because if that person hasn't got the same kind of body shape that they have, albeit in different proportions, it's going to look really different on them. Whereas if you've got someone like Alicia's a lovely lean column, isn't she? Very slim and very very little in the way of hips. And we've already laughed about boobage, which she really took in great humour. Bless her.
I love her.
Wiggle wiggers. She's adorable. But you get something that looks amazing on Alicia, and you put someone like me in. She's got one out this week. It's the Wyeth pullover. Should we have a look at it? And I'll explain why this isn't going to work for me. But I can absolutely see that on loads of other people that it will look totally amazing.
But the other thing with plus sizes, when I did my jumper, I could never get anyone to test the bigger sizes.
Yeah, and they don't want to do photographs necessarily. And I'm afraid if you're going to ask for bigger sizes, you need to get off your backside and say, yeah, actually, I'm prepared to be seen.
Well, let's have a
look. Here we go. Let's have a little looky. It's got like a little arrow.
It's like a chevron.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like a tweedy type?
It is a tweedy type yarn.
And it's got a drop shoulder.
It's drop shoulder, quite a wide scoop neckline, which would be very easy to lower for ladies of an ample bosom.
I like that.
Very, very
suit body shape though.
Now this would, on me, the scoop neck would be too wide for my shoulders.
Okay.
And would be falling off on one side. And then with the drop shoulders, I'd have to make the sleeves for a bigger size and position the armhole bits differently, which isn't hard to do because this is basically it's a box with sleeves with a scoop neck and with this beautiful pattern. It would be very simple to adapt, but where I would struggle with this particular one and why I won't make it, and I love it, but not for me, is because of the boxy shape and the way the patterning is. It would be hard for me to put waist shaping in that and make it work well.
Yeah, because it interfere with the pattern, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and if you look at the back, there's plenty of room along the side and the back. It's quite an oversized fit.
I do
so
love
for me, I would need that to hug into the back where I've actually got more of a waist.
Does it say what size she's knitted? Sometimes they say what size the model's wearing, don't they? I think I'd go for a smaller.
So she's knitted the 40.
And what size does it come from?
Oh, let's have a look.
So she's
smallest size is a 36, and I think she's probably about a 34 bust.
So she's gone with quite a lot of positive ease then, hasn't she?
About 4 inches, which is about average on a winter sweater. If she's a 32 bust, then she's probably got, you know, more ease. I don't know. Does she say 4 to 6 inch of positive ease recommended to make it sort of oversized? So I could make this with negative ease and make the 40. In which case it would sort of fairly tightly hug my curves. And I could make it work that way. But I'd want a longer body. I don't like anything that falls short of where my lower belly pooch is. I mean, I think it's beautiful. And if we look at some of the projects,
I think
see in the teal there how that stitch pattern shows up beautifully in the stronger colour.
I think I could get away with it because I do like to wear a vest top underneath.
And you've got proper shoulders.
Have I?
Yeah, you've got broader shoulders than me.
Oh, cool. I like a broad shoulder. Oh, that one.
And I think it looks lovely on that lady there because she's got broader shoulders. She's got a good bust line. It drapes very nicely. It's been well blocked.
Can you have a look at that plum coloured one just underneath there? There, that one. I like that colour.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Colour, isn't it?
Won't let me go any larger with that photograph. Let's see it in the sun. But again, it shows the stitch definition very well. But for me, all of that extra fabric in the back, unless I went with a lot of negative ease, then
I would definitely go with less positive ease than what she's saying, to be honest.
Yeah, and this lady, I'd have adjusted the sleeve length. I just tried it on before knitting the sleeves.
Yeah.
And perhaps gone for a different body length. I don't know. I do like that colour on her though. It's nice and subtle.
It is a lovely colour.
It's a very soft brown, very natural looking colour. And it does show the pattern very well. The stitch definition of the pattern is extremely good.
So that's knitted flat.
I don't know, is it?
I think it looked like it was knitted.
In the round, one piece.
Looked like that lady had just straight needles there, that was all. Maybe that was the sleeves. I don't know. I do like a knitted in the round jumper.
Front and back are knitted in the round to the underarm, then worked flat and joined at the shoulders with the 3 needle bind off. Sleeves and neckline are picked up and knit in the round. So very little, no seams as such.
Sounds ideal for me.
I just thought that was really nice.
It is lovely. What is it? Worsted. So that's between DK and Aaron.
Well, that gauge, 20 stitches and 28 rows, is a DK gauge. I'd just use a DK.
Right, okay. It's nice.
It worked really well with Dropped Bell, actually, for a summery sweater. But it's whether you like that crop length. I mean, it would be easy to add length, I suppose, by just having more pattern repeats on the body.
Yeah, or a longer
add length that way, and obviously buy extra yarn for it. What does everybody think of that one?
Yeah. Oh, Michelle's asking, what is negative or positive ease?
Okay. Oh, Carol's saying that she's seen those as well, the Celeste Barber videos. So negative or positive ease, if we use me as the example, I'll stop screen sharing and come back to me now. So this top is made to about a 42 bust, thereabouts. It's got plenty of stretch to the yarn, it's bamboo cotton. I could have made a 40 bust, and if I needed it to fit smaller at the shoulders, for example, if I had narrower shoulders, if that's possible. And I could have gone with a 40 bust, which is actually my over bust measurement. So if you haven't got massive boobage and need to do loads of bust darts and shaping, you can go with your over bust measurement, and it gives you a better measurement and fit at the shoulders and upper body, because these are basically in the way, let's be honest. They generally, it's like having 2 extra handbags you've got to lug around full of shopping.
You can't.
And down at the lower body, were I to stand up, I am not, because I am wearing some pyjama bottoms that are rather tight, and you will see every bit of shape of my belly pooch from having had music that I've filled with biscuits since. And Slimming World is helping me get rid of. But the lower body is fit with no ease, so it's to fit my measurements exactly. At the bust, it's about 1 inch of ease. So if it were to be oversized, like a winter sweater that you're going to wear over a long sleeve t-shirt or a turtleneck top or a work shirt or something like that, because work shirts often have, because they're woven fabrics, quite deep underarms, because you need to be able to move, and woven fabric has no give. So they're cut differently. So if you want it to go over that kind of thing, then you might go up a size, and you would typically pick a size that gave you 2 to 4 inches of room in your cardigan to be able to move, so that it's not fitted like a second skin. And where Alicia's talking about 6 inches of ease, then you can think the boxy kind of oversized sweaters where they sort of fall off the shoulder a bit, where you've got the drop sleeve and other things going on. Let me just check and make sure that's not an emergency or anything burning down. No, it's the same person, and I know who it is, and he can wait.
Okay. Even though we say we'd finish at 8 o'clock again today.
Well, yeah, I know. But ease is one of those things, and as you go up in size, someone who's got a 62-inch chest or bust, male, female, will probably want 4 to 6 inches of ease to be able to move comfortably in a sweater or a cardigan, possibly even more, compared to someone who's a 30-inch bust or chest, who might only want 2 inches of ease, because proportionately there's more body to wrap around and they just need that extra room. So the best thing to work out ease when you're looking at a cardigan or a top is to take something that fits the way you like.
Yeah.
And measure that at the underarms across the chest.
I don't like as much. Like, if I was to make that, even though she says 6 inches positive ease, I would like a lot less ease.
Yeah, you'd probably make it 36, wouldn't you?
I don't like things to be big and baggy on me, because I think that makes me look bigger than I am.
Well, and if you've got boobs, it hangs off them.
Yeah. Negative ease is usually used to be more fitted and to give you the shape without actually shaping as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll use negative ease where it's a straight up and down side cardigan or sweater, and I will deliberately knit it smaller than I need it, maybe a size down or something like that, because I know that when I've got it on, it will stretch to accommodate my lumps and bumps, and it will look like it's got waist shaping even if it hasn't. But because I'm such a pedant, I generally add shaping, because I know my body shape and my measurements and what I need to do.
Once you know yourself and what you like to fit you, and that, it's a lot easier, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and one of the best things I did years ago was get Victor, my male mannequin, who's got about the chest and shoulder measurements that I have. It's obviously not got a waist, but that was fine. I covered him with padding and stuff, and then put a long t-shirty dress thing and got Mike to wrap me with duct tape.
This is
over the t-shirt to follow the form of my bust and waist and hips, and then we cut the t-shirt off up the back.
Right, okay.
And then filled it with foam and padding and whatnot, and wrapped it over Victor's body, and then duct taped it back together. So I have a form that scarily looks just like my lumpy body. But it means I can try things on it from the shop.
Yeah.
With never trying it on myself. I can come home with a dozen tops from Asda's or wherever and put them on that, and I can see exactly how that's going to look on my shape. And if you are a dressmaker or a knitter and you want to really fit your shape because you don't fit ready to wear, then it's a way of achieving it. But understanding ease and how you like stuff to fit, what clothes have you got that you can measure? What length do you like from underarm to hem that you feel flatters your body? I tend to go for at least 16 inches on a top, sometimes 20, depending on where I want it to stop. Because those horizontal lines and where they end on the body, if it ended here as sort of my belliness, it would instantly underline it and say, ooh, belly, and your eyes would be drawn there.
Yeah.
So those horizontal lines are quite important, and understanding how that fits, how you move.
Yeah.
Have I mansplained it now?
You have been. No, you haven't. Oh,
I could see him falling asleep there.
no, it's just I'm trying desperately to ignore my bladder right now.
Oh, Helen's saying it's the Mad Dog 2020 that totally screwed up this year, and she can't afford 2 big festivals in 1 year. Well, no, neither could I.
No, well, that was the whole point of doing Woolfest this year and Edinburgh next year. And then Helen as well, you have to save up, because 1 year we are going to do Shetland, but that's going to be an expensive one.
So Rita's saying working it larger than your bust measurement is positive ease, less than your bust measurement is negative ease. Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, when a pattern says 6 inches positive ease, that's just how they've envisaged it being worn. It doesn't mean you have to wear it like that. If you don't like positive ease, don't wear it like that.
Yeah, and Yvonne's saying that with that particular sweater she likes it, but she'd need hip shaping, and so would I. I'd need a waist in the back, possibly not in the front, but we're not going to go there. So yeah, does that make sense to everybody? And Anna's saying that she tested a top recently, was asked to knit a bigger size than she normally would, and it was supposed to be an oversized, but 14 inches of ease was a lot and too much for me. Yeah, I mean, God, that's like invite a friend, isn't it? You could social distance in that jumper, couldn't you?
Blimey, that is a lot of positive ease, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite impressive, really.
Does
it come with a friend? Just curious.
Me and my friend jumper.
Yeah. Well, you could have a sleeve each and hold hands inside it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't particularly like the oversized trend, and I get why some people do. And I think if you're Audrey Hepburn, it's absolutely for you, because Audrey Hepburn could wear a bin bag and still look elegant and clothing would drape, and we're taught that that's the kind of beauty. But the reality is that majority of us come with lumps and bumps and curves, and we should be celebrating them, and I think we should be showing them off with garments that fit us.
Definitely. And
my 2 cents.
I have definitely found that because I'm at that awkward stage, I'm officially, my BMI is overweight, but I have lost a lot of weight. But I feel that anything that's too big on me makes me look even bigger than I am. I need either negative or no ease to show my body shape as it actually is, to be flattering.
Right, just a second. I'm going to just show you this because you missed it. So.
Liver and onions.
So if 2020 were an ice cream truck, it would be liver and onion ice cream. That's what I was laughing at.
Oh, nobody likes liver and onions, do they?
Yeah, and Yvonne's saying that her very slim teenager looks great in oversized shirts and her not so much. And I absolutely know the feeling. I was the same at P's age, where I would wear oversized, and I did look great because there was nothing of me. Not that I appreciated any of that. But. So Rita says because she only crochets, she doesn't do many garments, but I've been looking at top patterns, and just knowing what the terminology means helps. That's good. I highly recommend Doris Chan's garment patterns, because for crochet garments she talks very much about how to adjust for your shape and where to add extra increases, and talks you how to work around that body shape. And another good one is it Vicky Chan? Let me have a look. There's one of hers in my project, and it was exceptionally well written.
Okay.
Yeah, Lacey Shell's cardigan, Vicky Chan. So I'll show you on a screen share. This isn't the most flattering photograph. Jake took it in the front garden at gunpoint. That's all I'm saying about that particular photograph. And I was wearing a top that's the wrong colour for me. It's a lovely cardigan, and I adore it.
You really don't look happy?
No, because I can see the way that he's taking the photograph, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is a disaster. And he insisted on doing it then, as we're about to drive to college, and I knew I had the wrong top on that that isn't my colour at all. Look at, makes my neck look like I'm a bulldog.
That is nice though.
Sorry?
That one there, that's lovely.
It is absolutely a beautiful cardigan, and the way it stretches out. So that's Vicky Chan. But again, all of her garments come with instructions on shaping to your body for either A-line or whatever. So highly recommend Vicky Chan and Doris Chan. Dora Orestein, I've not made many of her garments. I did start one and I've not finished it because I think I made the wrong choice with the yarn, if I'm honest.
Right.
But I've got one of her books, and the patterns from that, the sort of skin looked very good.
That's happened.
Oh, so Helen's watching us on replay rather than live. So she's saying that Morrison's have been great, and they'll refund you the substitutes if they're not suitable. So go on and get your money back. Oh, thank you, Anna. She's saying gorgeous cardigan. Rita's saying beautiful cardigan. It is. I apologise for the face on the model. It does look like a slapped backside.
Like, look.
Well, I hadn't washed my hair. I hadn't brushed my teeth. We were going early to college, and he's up late. And well, we'll do this photograph now, and I'm good in the car. No, so it's kind of that moment, you know, where you just want to stab them in the face, but the social services won't let you.
Which one of you was the teen ogre at that point?
Sorry?
Which one of you two was being the teen ogre at that point?
I think in the photograph I was. Absolutely. Yeah, most definitely. I crocheted that cardigan very, very quickly. It was 4-ply yarn. It was some Ousterman yarn. It's Royal, I think it's called. It's a merino cashmere and silk blend. It's absolutely stunning, and it used so little yarn with it being 4-ply, and it's washed and washed and washed, and I really love it. But yeah, Doris Chan or Vicky Chan or Dora Orestein for garments, but give Doris Chan a try and join her group if you can stand being on Ravelry, because there's some really helpful people on there and lots of really good videos about the various stitches.
There you go.
I've talked everyone's legs off now.
I have got a bladder that is shouting at me.
You've got what?
My bladder's shouting at me.
Oh, I'm going to say you're not bouncing. Usually
yeah, it's been over 2 hours since I went to the little girls' room. I'm definitely...
Right. On that happy note, then, I think it's time for us to say goodbye, and we will see you all on Sunday. I think we've got something lined up for Sunday, but if there's anything you would like us to cover in terms of, I don't know, quite happy to talk about fitting and maybe show you some of the garments that we've made and how they fit and what worked and what didn't, if anybody would find that interesting sometime. So, you know, do tell us what you want to see. And can you reply in the comments as well? Do you fancy setting up the nacho, the Slack, Slack forum chat? The one that we're in is called the Nacho Lounge, because that's one of Nina's. It's specifically for mods of the gift along, and that's one of her anagram names that George came up with.
Right.
Lounge or something like that.
You don't actually have to be eating nachos.
No.
Right.
I'll set up the Slack channel and I'll put a post in the group on Facebook and on Ravelry. And if people want to chat there, even if it's just in the short term while the guys get themselves sorted out.
Yeah. It's nice to have an alternative.
Yeah, because we can just post in the forum. And if anybody wants to do a Google Hangout or a meet on Facebook, we can only have 10 on a Facebook meet. So we would need to know attendance to invite people, and we can arrange that and do that sometime as well.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. And everyone then can be on camera or not. It's up to you whether you show yourselves in your
and you don't have to have makeup.
Oh no, no, no. I forgot to put my lippy on.
I never wear makeup.
No, I think we did for the first few.
It's too hot. It just slides off. It's fine.
Yeah, I just find my face is melting. It's just got to that age where it's gravity. So we'll see you on Sunday.
3:30.
Yeah.
Don't be late. Want to see you.
I'm just